How to talk to your children about conflict and war. When conflict or war makes the headlines, it can cause feelings such as fear, sadness, anger, and anxiety wherever you live. Children always look to their parents for a sense of safety and security, even more so in times of crisis. Here are some tips on how to approach the conversation with your child and to provide them with support and comfort. Number 1. Find out what they know and how they feel. Choose a time and place when you can bring it up naturally, and your child is more likely to feel comfortable talking freely, such as during a family meal. Try to avoid talking about the topic just before bedtime. A good starting point is to ask your child what they know and how they are feeling. Some children might know little about what is happening and not be interested in talking about it, but others might be worrying in silence. With younger children, drawing, stories, and other activities may help to open up a discussion. Number 2. Keep it calm and age appropriate. Children have a right to know what's going on in the world, but adults also have a responsibility to keep them safe from distress. You know your child best. Use age-appropriate language, watch their reactions, and be sensitive to their level of anxiety. Number 3. Spread compassion, not stigma. Conflict can often bring with it prejudice and discrimination, whether against a people or country. When talking to your children, avoid labels like bad people or evil and instead use it as an opportunity to encourage compassion, such as for the families forced to flee their homes. Even if a conflict is happening in a distant country, it can fuel discrimination on your doorstep. Check that your children are not experiencing or contributing to bullying. If they have been called names or bullied at school, encourage them to tell you or an adult whom they trust. Number 4. Focus on the helpers. It's important for children to know that people are helping each other with acts of courage and kindness. Find positive stories, such as the first responders assisting people, or young people calling for peace. See if your child would like to participate in taking positive action. Perhaps they could draw a poster or write a poem for peace. Or maybe you could participate in a local fundraiser or join a petition. The sense of doing something, no matter how small, can often bring great comfort. Number 5. Close conversations with care. As you end your conversation, it's important to make sure that you are not leaving your child in a state of distress. Try to assess their level of anxiety by watching their body language, considering whether they're using their usual tone of voice, and watching their breathing. Remind them that you care and that you're there to listen and support whenever they're feeling worried. Number 6. Continue to check in. As news of the conflict continues, you should continue to check in with your child to see how they're doing. How are they feeling? Do they have any new questions or things they would like to talk about with you? If your child seems worried or anxious about what's happening, keep an eye out for any changes in how they behave or feel, such as stomach aches, headaches, nightmares, or difficulty sleeping. Children have different reactions to adverse events, and some signs of distress might not be so obvious. Younger children may become clingier than usual, while teens might show intense grief or anger. Many of these reactions only last for a short time and are normal reactions to stressful events. If these reactions last for a prolonged period of time, your child may need specialist support. Number 7. Limit the flood of news. Be mindful of how exposed your children are to the news. While it's full of alarming headlines and upsetting images, consider switching off the news around younger children. With older children, you could use it as an opportunity to discuss how much time they spend consuming news and what news sources they trust. Also consider how you talk about the conflict with other adults if your children are within hearing distance. As much as possible, Try to create positive distractions like playing a game or going for a walk together. Number 8. Take care of yourself. You'll be able to help your kids better if you're coping. 2. Children will pick up on your own response to the news, so it helps them to know that you are calm and in control. If you're feeling anxious or upset, take time for yourself and reach out to other family, friends, and trusted people. Be mindful of how you're consuming news. Try identifying key times during the day to check in on what is happening rather than constantly being online. So that's the 8 tips to support and comfort your children. Hope you learned something. Apply them to your children and watch this video again as many as possible if you are really serious in taking care of your children. Please like this video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and support this channel by sharing this to your family and friends. Thank you so much. Bye.